Joe Zombie.
What's up, Jonesy? You seem to have. We seem to be in a swamp. You always take me to the
Welcome
nicest
to
places.
Jamaica. And by Jamaica, I mean welcome to Savathun's scenic throne world, where we may or may not be dismantling pyramids.
I was going to say Sandals has taken a hit from the pandemic.
Yeah, well, you know, it was either Carnival Cruise or Sandals. Someone had to go. So. Anyway, we're not. I was gonna say we're not here to dunk on terrible business ventures right now. We're here to show off the new stuff in The Witch Queen in Destiny 2, the newest expansion. So,
I mean, they're all cesspools, and this is no different, obviously.
Oh boy, word start. Oh nope, did it like a glove. Meant to do that. No problem. No problem.
Sometimes you got to go for style points. That's what matters.
Yeah. I was all right here in the mind. I knew what I was doing the whole time. All right. So
down to business. I see you've had to crack your neck to open this. What I assume is a bit of a bridge.
Yeah. So you there's a whole lot of detective gumshoe, even inspectory thematic tones to this expansion, to the point
so
where
telling me we get to be psychic detectives.
If you saw that emote I used, that was from the $15 bundle that gives you some silver and stuff. It gives you you literally do the psych emote where you're like, I'm getting a clue. Like, you literally do that. Yeah, it's nuts, but it's also really cool. It's weird how it works because I don't know why the animation is snapping your neck, but it is. And we'll just go ahead and get one of the elephants in the room out of the way while we can. They have changed
Void 3.0.
They have changed the way that Void works. So, when you go in Stasis was the first that got the fragment love, and it was widely regarded as a really good idea. And, we didn't have to do as much grinding to unlock the stuff this time, so it was way more fun to just get into it and do the thing. There are clearly still things here we don't have unlocked, and I don't know how to unlock them, but...
I think you can get most of it from Ikora. I think you can buy a lot of that stuff from her.
I have not been able to get these from her because I went and talked to her. I got all the new grenades and stuff, but as far as these void fragments, there's probably going to be a rep thing or something somewhere that unlocks those. I don't know. They sound good because one of them says defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons. So throw a grenade and it makes all your void weapons make people explode when you shoot them. So every gun becomes every void weapon becomes the graviton lance.
It sounds like that could be pretty broken and ad clear.
I'm sure. To be fair, so can the graviton lance.
It's true. So basically, we're able to. It's like Destiny 1, I assume, where you were able to customize any class, but I assume it's just Void and Stasis right now are able to do this,
yes.
Where you can pick and choose what you want, and you don't have to just you're in this tree and it gives you this stuff, and you're like, but I want this stuff out of that tree and this stuff out of this tree. It's like, well, you can have whatever you want.
Right. So instead of being the way that it is, if we say go into Arc, where you have the 3 paths where you get the attunements of those and you get those perks, and that's all you get, and you get the 3 grenade choices, and that's what you have. In this, with Void 3.0, which I really like, you can learn every Void grenade. You can use, I only have
Void
one.
Grenades from other classes, no less.
Yeah, I only have one melee, but it works. And then you go over here and I have the 3 ults. I have Nova Warp, I have Nova Bomb Vortex, which I like to use, and then the Cataclysm, which is the classic, you throw it, it blows up, it chases people down, it blows up more. It's fun, but yeah, I keep hearing people say that as a warlock I should be using Child of the Old Gods because apparently that little rift thing also casts weaken on whoever it attacks, so that seems pretty good, but I like to charge my grenades, so I will be sticking with Chaos Accelerant, thank you very much. But now that we've gone over that, let's actually just get in here and do the thing.
You're also using the Malfeasance, which I think all that type of stuff got a buff. A lot of the exotics that weren't being used.
Every primary ammo using exotic got a 40% attack buff versus all red bar enemies. So I'm just walking through here I'm missing some shots, but If you're hitting them in range, I'm shredding through them quite. Yeah, see, boom, one shot to the head. Yeah, and I will say, these lost sectors, I'm trying to rush through the lost sector because of how long they are, because they're very involved. Like they're very involved now. It's basically.
I mean, they were always kind of involved before. I think Europa had some pretty long ones in the past.
Yeah, some of them were like. There are some that are like a room you go into and then you walk back out. Like it was such a short lost sector, you didn't even have to like use a shortcut to get in and out of it. But I found myself trying to rush, and also, you know, the curse of, oh, I'm doing a recording, that means I'm automatically going to play like garbage.
Correct.
So
but the Malfeasance also got what, like it also got a bonus like to its thing, regardless of, or I guess not regardless, but it associated with the buff that all the primary using
yes, the crane, not the cranial explosion, sorry, that's a Dead Man's Tale, but the spike grenade explosions, whenever you shoot, is like 5 or 6 shots and it detonates after that. The big explosion that happens inside of that character you shoot, that also got a 50% buff to the damage, because people were like, well, we can use this in Gambit and we can use it versus Taken, but we're not going to use it for anything else. And so basically everybody was basically using all rocket launchers and nothing else, because none of the primary exotics did enough damage to justify using them. But now heavy ammo is so rare. I say that as heavy ammo falls down. Heavy ammo is so much.
I'm going to stop you, but a butterfly flew out of that man's head. Or moth, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's we're burying the lead here. So. The Hive have the light now, and those butterflies are like basically shield servitors. They like give them a buff, and then you have to shoot that shield off of them. And then if you kill the person who the butterfly is on, the butterfly will either look for another hive, and if there's no more hive, then it just turns around and goes, you know what, I'm done with you, and it just runs straight towards you and explodes. And if you don't shoot it, it does a ton of damage for such a small package. I have died more times from the butterflies than any other enemy in this expansion so far.
Yeah, because, you know, curse thralls and screams weren't enough. How about another thing that runs at you and explodes?
Correct. Yes, all on the same planet, by the way. All on the same planet. Yes. Yeah, you can literally have an ogre with the little moth butterfly guy on it.
Because that's what we need, is ogres with overshields.
Yeah, it's terrible. So, did you see how the health just like melted whenever the detonation went off from the Malfeasance on that ogre? Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good for my baby to be so good again. I love it.
Well, I'm guessing like a lot of these buffs are it's gonna open up a lot more than just like the 1 to 3 builds most classes would get a lot of the time in past seasons.
Yeah.
Now that more weapons are viable and more gear is viable because of that, everyone can kind of pick and choose, and it does seem to be a bit of a theme with this season, is like freedom of choice.
It feels like they took a page out of Sea of Thieves and were like, tools not rules, have fun. Because that's, you know, from that design point of view, it feels like a lot of fun. It's just like, here, you have a lot of options and a lot of really dumb stuff you can do now. You don't have to just use the Galahorn. I mean, the Galahorn's still great, but you can use so many other things.
Or, you know, or it basically, a lot of times it's like, if you don't have one of the raid exotics, then, you know, good luck.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is still probably going to be the case. But,
I mean, with like with random LFG groups, probably, but
yeah. Like with some of the new exotics I know have come out with this, you know, I think there's like an SMG has come out that's supposed to be pretty good. And then I think you get a grenade launcher, but I think that's a heavy weapon. But I like to see that, you know, again, as I stated before, the ability to not be relegated to, if you don't have this gear, what are you doing?
Yes.
You know, like in past seasons, because I play a Titan, that's usually my main focus. Is like, if you didn't have the Curious of the Fallen Star and weren't running Code of the Missile, what are you doing? You're missing out on so much damage. And I think toward the end of that season, or the last season that was out, they did a bit more with like Ward of Dawn, and then that's kind of continued with Void 3.0. But I appreciate that now. Although I'll probably still be using Ward of Dawn because that was usually my go-to anyway before they came out with hey, you can throw your shield at Captain America.
Right.
Because I think, you know, weapons of light and armor of light, all that benefits everyone, and you can just dump damage into people. And it's not just like, you know, that thing that happens to, I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people in strikes or whatever, where like you go to use your super and like the phase changes or he goes invincible.
Right.
And you're like, I'm just going to sit here and, you know, just jack off into a corner, I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Haha, I'm going to have to swap my batteries out soon. I wasn't going to say anything, and I was going to be like, hey, maybe we can finish this video before it happens, but my vibration turned off like 10 seconds ago, and I was like, we'll see what happens. So we may have to do a pit stop. Well, I've got spare batteries right next to me. We may have to. It'll be a split second.
Change out.
Yeah. Also, this man has a ghost and is a nightmare, and he just cast
that man casts Storm Trance on you, sir.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's a wizard that can do tickle fingers or Papa Palpatine, whatever you want to call it.
And I missed with my ult. I sure did. If I wasn't recording this, I would have hit him directly and one-shotted him, but I missed.
Man, you really blew up that chest.
Sure did.
That chest got it.
Well, I got him back for it. I crushed his ghost, so he's not coming back. He will not be in Destiny 3. It's fine.
That was not nice. That ghost just cried out like a little, like, I don't like the screech it made. It's not fun.
Yeah, no, it's not. And like,
so you did the thing that we all got super mad at the Scorn about doing Decayed.
Yeah. And I feel justified in doing it. It's actually really it's really interesting. If I could do that to
Guardians in the Crucible that cast Storm Trance on me, I would think about it.
Yeah, it's also really interesting that like the first time you do it, they like make your character like play a completely different animation the first time you do it, because your character is just like, what did I just do? But after about the 5,000th time, it's literally like whenever you're in Far Cry. If you've ever skinned an animal in Far Cry, where back when they had skinning animations, you were like skinning the like mountain lion and pulling the big strip of whatever off, and he was like, ugh, and then eventually you're just like slapping it in a bag. You're just like, give me the meat. I just want the meat and the fur. Get out of my face.
And now you're like, you know, fuck those guys. Crush their ghosts. They deserve it, sons of bitches.
Yeah, please stop trying to murder me. I'm getting tired of it. So there are 3 main zones. I say main zones because these are like the 3 open zones that public events happen. There's a lot of new activities and stuff that we won't go into, that you can play it and find out. There's an enclave on Mars, which we will get to here in a second, but there are a lot of zones that are not as easily accessed, like the Disciples Bog and Temple of the Navigator, Queen's Bailey, Sanctum of the Brood Queen. Like,
I would like to talk about, because these 2 things have come out recently. These sound like Dark Souls or Elden Ring areas.
I mean, it's true, but the Hive has always kind of felt like that. Also, I'm gonna multitask. We're gonna go to the Enclave, and while we do, I'm gonna swap batteries out.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
See, we're smart here at Still Standing. We know how to get things done as quickly as possible.
I've already swapped my batteries.
Look at that. Just quick change out. If it hadn't flashed up on the screen, no one would have known better. You're like
true.
A pit crew, my friend.
I'll cry about it later, but it's okay.
You can always fix it in post, I suppose.
It's fine. It's not that big a deal. So, Mars, if you remember, a couple seasons ago, Mars got... what happened? What has happened? Por favor? Okay. I couldn't move.
Why does this always happen when we're recording?
I don't know. Why do I have a new clue? What is this? What is happening? Why is my board telling me things? Yeah. This might be something that I didn't know existed before.
Why do you have a Pepe Sylvia board, my friend?
Yes, because Pepe Sylvia exists. I have a new thing that I didn't know about. Let's see. I want to read this. I hate this is here for this recording because don't read it. Do not look upon this visage. Ignore. Let me read this in peace. I want my story moment. You don't need this. You haven't seen this yet. Don't look at this. Pay no attention.
I'm closing my eyes. No one else can see it, but I'm covering my eyes.
Be cool, everybody. You're supposed to be cool. I was told you were cool. Now be cool. Yeah, be cool.
I love that you're like, hey, I'm going to show you some stuff. Don't look at it. Don't.
Well, I wasn't expecting this to pop up, to be fair. Like, it's not a thing that I was expecting. But anyway, so you do have a tour of
your house and your girlfriend was naked in the bathroom.
It's true. So you do have a as we jokingly call it, the Pepe Sylvia board, where you get these different missions with different summations of clues, and then you go do things with those, and you're basically building your red string board where you literally are putting the strings.
Why is there like a section of like quartz in the middle of it? Like, just
that's
quartz. It's the key. It leads to all these things.
It is actually. Those are osmium fragments. If you remember, you remember this. The chat does not. Everyone else does not. So every planet in Destiny has a planetary consumable collectible thing that you get. In the past, those were things you would trade in for stuff with different factions to like get like say upgrade modules from Banshee and stuff like that. The osmium that you pick up just gives you rep with a faction, and that is an osmium fragment, and all these reports are you trying to figure out how osmium is related to the hive, and how it's related to the moths, and how it's related to the relic, and so on and so forth, these other things that I haven't done yet. So you're doing like actual investigative stuff, hinting back to the thing we were talking about with the inspector theme that this expansion is going with, the psychic detective stuff. And as we were talking about before my controller broke, Mars was eaten by the darkness a couple seasons ago, and it's back, and now it's a weird
it's look like fields over there, and also like destroyed buildings, or it's on fire.
Yeah, it's a weird time paradox world now, because now there's like fields of like in that time hole, there's like beautiful fields from the past, and then over there on that side there's like buildings that are on fire and burning up.
Like one side is 2019 and the other side's 2020.
Yeah, pretty much.
So where is Ikora still on the planet, or did she go away?
No, Ikora is not here because I have finished the campaign, but she would have been up there. She's up there, and you meet her here to do the whole thing. Big shebang. That's Savathun's ship up there. That's my ship, looking all super sassy up there. These NPCs are here as like
that time has a get mask.
Yes, they're here as teasers for this is the what's it called? Is it the Veritas? Is that the name of the?
I want to say yes. Probably.
Is it Veritas? It is Veritas. Yes, the Veritas set of armor that you get is all linked. I think isn't that set they're wearing, or is that the hidden set? I think that's that set. Am I crazy?
I'm pretty sure it's the Veritas set. I think.
Maybe not.
I'm going to say it is.
But maybe. I'm looking at the Warlock right now, and the Warlock does not have the same. It's not the same.
Neither do you.
But I'm saying like that's the chest piece right there with that logo on it, and like. It's like the same chess piece with different emblems on it.
It's like got Vanguard stuff on it.
Yeah, interesting. So that's like they're like members of Ikora's hidden, but they're basically it's almost like an abilities of like they put one of each class here so they can be like, so you like that armor?
These are your future GIMP clothes.
Yes. Do you want to have GIMP clothing because you can be a super cool space GIMP too? Another thing that they drop on you pretty early on in this expansion, I would say within
that's a big scary door, and I don't like it.
Yep, we're going into the big scary door. We're going to Wonderworld in here, where welcome to
the scary door.
Welcome to the Forge.
Well, I want to say cool. I don't.
It is cool. It looks sweet. Like, it literally has, like, every piece of every kind of weapon and other random tchotchke things here.
Right.
Like,
so I look at this thing, and I think, is Ada still around? Because if she is, why?
Ada is still around. The Black Armory is shut down because she now does the, she's now the transmog person. But I'm gonna guess that the Black Armory might be linked to this place in some way, because Black Armory seems like it might have been some pyramid stuff. I don't know.
Sure.
I have nothing
What
to
do you
back
do
that
here?
up. That's just a thought. So you got your
I assume we're forging weapons or armor.
yeah, you
or
got your
whatever.
conduit and you got all that stuff. So let's go fiddle around. Let's go fiddle around with the thing. So the new weapon class that I forgot to show off in the Lost Sector but had equipped for it is it's the glaive. It's a first person melee weapon, so the swords are third person, but glaives are first person. You can stab, you can shoot, and you can shield with it, which is very fun. You see the controls down there in the bottom. As you shoot the ammo out of the gun and hit with that, it builds up the shield gauge. Then you can block, protect yourself. It's super fun, but let me unequip that. And
Let me ask you a question. I'm looking at your screen here. Why does it have a level bar?
So every weapon that you craft in the forge has a weapon level. So there will be weapons, I don't think I have one on me, that will have a red trim around them, like a masterwork weapon has a yellow trim. There is a red trim, and that means that you can like attune yourself to that weapon. If you attune yourself to certain weapons enough times, you unlock a blueprint for that weapon, and that allows you to craft that weapon. And once you can craft it, you can level it up. And I will show you with the spear so you go here, you can shape things, and it literally is like pick from a list. If you have a blueprint unlocked, there's all these different weapons that you can get, and there's some crazy stuff. There are some exotics in here.
That's a fancy looking submachine gun.
Yeah, it's believe me, it's very, very fancy. And then there's reshape. So shaping is building it initially, and then reshaping it is picking one that you already have built, that you've leveled up, like so, and then you click on it to reshape it, and that allows you to change the intrinsic perk, aka the masterwork. Basically, it's like, oh, do you want 10 range? Do you want 10 reload speed? Do you want handling? Do you want whatever? You always start with like one or two choices for every single one of these weapons, and then as you level them up, you get new pieces. As you attune to weapons, you will unlock these elements that you see, like neutral element. There's like mutable, ascendant alloy, all that stuff. You'll unlock that stuff by doing stuff in here. And like it's a lot. I mean, as you can see, there's like 30 perks.
Yeah.
Like just in these
it definitely
two
seems like you're
sections.
just going to be like you're basically going to be grinding for weapons to attune to, and less rolling for weapons that have a quote unquote god roll, because it looks like you can just create your own
Yes.
in most cases.
Which I realize that is going to be quite a grind to get 5 of a certain weapon that you can attune to unlock that blueprint. But once you do that, like obviously if you're playing Destiny, you're used to grinding for rolls, but I also feel like in the end it may actually alleviate some of that grinding, just because you can make your own perfect, this is mine. Like, yeah. I put subsistence on everything because that is my personal favorite perk. I like to get ammo back from defeating enemies. So I put that on pretty much every weapon I could possibly put that on. And I don't know what a memento does because I have never gotten one.
Fair enough. I guess it's more of a, I don't want to say post game. I don't really know what the word is for this, like higher level content, I guess.
I mean, you can
sort of
do
thing that you get,
like you can do the relic resonance engine forge stuff pretty early on. Like I feel like if I remember correctly,
to unlock the memento things, I'm sure it's probably like nightfalls.
Oh,
or like
it is probably
stuff.
a thing because it says it's a consumable that does some stuff or whatever. So
Sure.
Probably. I would not be surprised. I will show you this. I have a thing right here, says memory alembic.
Am I allowed to look upon this?
Yeah, you can look upon this. So I have a mission. I found a thing called Qualicore, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So I found that, and it says that I need to uncover more executioners every day to fill the memory alembic with Qualicore. If I do that, I get an item called Refined Qualicore. I'm guessing that might be my first memento. I can't prove it.
I also don't know who executioners are or what you're doing to uncover them.
Executioners, okay, so if you remember in the there's a similar thing that's happened in the past. You know how like those you'll see like text in the corner that gives you a hint that something is going on.
Yeah, sure.
It'll say like
in the Dreaming City, or like where like forces are appearing to like go against each other.
Yes,
sort of thing.
Correct. It'll do a thing like that, and if I remember correctly, it said something like Savathun's chosen are in the area or something, and then you like look for like glowing hive. And then I beat up enough of them, and it spawned one of every kind of terrible light-wielding hive that could ever exist. And you had to fight them all at the same time, and they were all skulls to me. But I threw my ult, and I hoped for the best. And then someone who was a higher light level than me, I'm a pretty high light level, but they were a much higher light level than me, and they helped me kill them. And then I got this item, and now I guess I have to do that more. But it sounds painful. So
well, let me ask you a question. Going back to the light hive, whatever you want to call them.
Yes. Holy smokes!
Really got to clean out your post box, man.
I'll do that now while I listen to you.
Are all the can any like are all the different like is it like different hive classes different like are like the wizards were obviously the warlocks, so I'm guessing what knights or titans, and I don't know if I can acolytes or hunters or whatever.
That is exactly how it is. But they cannot all, so far they can't be anyway. Each one of them is locked to a certain ult. So the Titans have 2 shields because they're better than Titans apparently, and they can clap them together and throw them, which is really scary because if they clap them, you go flying. You are suddenly in orbit. The Shocky Hands are the warlock guys, and they just do a ton of damage and it hurts. And my personal least favorite, the bane of my existence, I hate them, why do they exist, they're so bad, please go away, are the Hunter Acolytes, because they get to do Blade Barrage 2 times in a row. They summon like 5 or 6 swords, not knives, swords, and they fly at you as they do a dodge roll to make them invincible to your attacks. They dodge and then summon swords. The swords chase you down and they murder you. And they do it 2 times in a row, and there's nothing you can do about it other than get behind cover and hope you don't die.
Oh, good. I'm so glad they could continue the trend of Blade Barrage being the worst thing on this planet.
It is what it is, but it's definitely way scarier than seeing it in the Crucible. If I see it in the Crucible, I go, yeah, I'm dead. If I see it in PvE, I'm like, I think there's a chance I can get behind this. No, I'm definitely dead already.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, except there's not, and I'm already dead.
Are there any closing words you like to give?
I was gonna say. I
think we've gone over most of it. I assume.
Yeah,
I don't. Kind of just like pacing around while we've been talking about stuff.
Well,
so
and that's because
there's not much else you can show us.
It's because there's a lot to talk about, but I don't really want to go into the story stuff because it's so good. I want everybody to see it on their own. Like the first mission is, you're on Mars. That's you show up here, you walk through that field right there, and that's how it starts. But that's all I'm telling you. You should go play it. The first mission is free, even if you don't own Witch Queen. Also, there is a new season. I guess we can talk about that real quick. There's a new season that is active, the season of the Risen. And you are fighting undead armies inside of people's brains. There's literally undead armies that Savathun has summoned, and you're fighting alongside the Cabal, and you literally go inside of enemies' brains after you beat them once, and then you have to do psychic warfare to actually make them submit to you so you can capture them. It is
You're dropping a lot on us now.
Yeah, it is every bit as fun as it sounds. I literally, there are parts where Savathun will show up as a figment of your imagination, and you have to kill her with harpoons.
Yeah, why not? Because
psychic harpoons
makes just as much
in
sense
psychic
as everything
warfare.
else you said in the last minute and a half.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's really fun. It's a fun. What would you call it? It's not a mode. Activity is what they call them. It's an activity. Sure. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, I was trying to answer your question.
So we're gonna do some Psychonauts psyops, huh?
There is so much psychic. They went oops all psychic in this expansion, and so far it has been super fun. I'm excited because I know there's a lot of mysteries that I can't solve yet because my psychic powers aren't strong enough. So I'll get there eventually, but I'm not there yet. If you want to give this a try, Destiny 2 is free, and the starter mission, I think the first mission or the first two missions of the expansion are free. I don't think the Risen is free because they give you your seasonal artifact is from the setup from this expansion. It just is free for everybody.
$10 or 1,000 silver.
Yeah, I think there's a version of Witch Queen you can buy that gives you the full year's worth of the seasons included.
That's the deluxe edition.
Yeah, so there's that. If you're really into Destiny, you probably already have it. If you're not, you can try it out for free and see what you think. I think it's great. I think this is the best expansion they have done.
It looks like a lot of fun, I'll have to say.
Ever so far. This was definitely a spiritual successor to The Taken King, and as someone who played thousands of hours of The Taken King, I will say this has passed that so far. I don't know if the raid is going to be as annoying as The Taken King, probably, but all the other activities and stuff that I have unlocked from playing through the story have been very good. So, pop. And on that note, this has been Witch Queen. It's out and it's fun, and you should go play it. That's all I got for you.